What does a day on the farm really look like? Time to do some of the hard stuff. I'm Cody. I own Carolina Fitness Farm. Sometimes my chores on the farm, get it, held it, is just as much work as my training in the gym. Truth is, most people really don't understand how unpredictable life on the farm really is.
Oh shit, I didn't see this, come here.
We lost a bunch of stuff. So today, I'm gonna show you the blood, the sweat, the tears, everything that goes into running the farm. So every morning we come down, feed the chickens and the goats. It's one of the first things I do in the morning, get them taken care of. And if I haven't collected eggs from the night before, I try to get them early in the morning as well, so that our local rat snake doesn't come and get the eggs before I do. Hold on, don't get back. Go on, Mila. Get out. See if they can get out of here without killing a chicken. Go on. So that's their chicken scratch. And I'm just putting them back on their laying feed, but they've been on grower feed because we have a new batch of pullets that I just put into the flock. So I put out some eggshells. These are from the eggs that we eat from them. Feed it back to them so they can get calcium, so they can have good, strong, healthy eggs. That's your turn. This is Mama Taco, and she's gonna push around Rita. She does this to Rita more than any of the other ones, but this is Margo and Rita. So we got Taco, she's the only one that had her name. So I stuck with that theme. Like I said, Margo and Rita, obviously. Margarita, get it? Mila is our newest. She was born just this past New Year's. So she's the youngest. Mila means miracle or surprise. I shorten it. It's also short for Milagro, which is one of the tequilas that I like to put in my margaritas. Good girl. All right. Margo's gonna be a little tougher. You're okay. Relax. Good girl. Good girl. Collect the eggs now. I know. And then we got to check the goat house. So sometimes we'll put hay in there, and sometimes they'll try to get up in there. They'll try to lay their eggs on top of the hay. Yep. But we get about 10 a day right now. All the chickens don't lay every day. Some of our chickens, we have Barred Rocks and Rhode Island Reds that'll lay more throughout the year. They're good layers. But then our Easter Eggers and Blue Americanas, they won't lay as many throughout the year. They'll slow down quite a bit in the colder weather. Like I eat, 6 or 7 eggs every morning. My wife has a couple on the weekends. My son will have a couple as well each day. So for us, we're going through several dozen. Most people are only eating, 2 eggs at a time. So a small family could get, 1 or 2 dozen a week. If they're eating them every day, they could get through, and that could be, you could have 4, 5, 6 chickens. It'll feed a family easily. For us, we go through more eggs than the average. So I need about 15 chickens.
Oh shit, I didn't see this, come here.
Hopefully she's all right. Come here, girl. Hold on. Got your... Relax. Shh. You're okay. Come here. All right, girl. Let's check her wings. You all right? I used to get up a little bit earlier and take care of the animals before my kids. They don't really need much too early right now, so typically get up 6:30, take care of my kids, get them off to school. Then when I get back from dropping them off, I'll come down and take care, make sure they've got food and water, check on everything, make sure there's no chickens stuck in a hay feeder and things like that. This time of year when it's warm like this, the big thing is making sure all the animals have water. Really just making sure I come down and collect the eggs and feed them. So I don't need to collect the eggs right away. I can do that when I get back. The chickens have feed. The scratch, that's snacks for them. Right now I'm pretty diligent about making sure they have the extra calcium from the eggshells because They've been on grower feed with our new pullets. With their water and the feeder I've set up, they could go a full day without me coming down. It's funny when people talk about, you know, this hesitation people have about getting chickens and things like that. And if you have free range in a small area, yeah, you have to let them out of their coop. But we have a huge run here. You know, I've got a large pasture with hawk netting that I put up. And so the systems that I put in place make it a lot easier. I hadn't seen anyone do it this way before. Did the sizing that I thought it should be, but the hawks were, I mean, they were smart. They were sneaking in areas. They would sit on the fence and kind of hop through an opening. So I had to tighten up the edges a lot more. And it was just constant learning to figure out what was going to keep them out the most. I've got an automatic door on the coop. So that opens up for them in the morning and closes for them at night. So the extra stuff that I do is just, you know, keep them happy. Even the goats, I mean, they have plenty of grass right now. So if I didn't come down and feed them right away, it's not that big of a deal, but I try to get that taken care of out of the way. Even if I did want to say I had systems in place for them to continue to be fed and watered, I still want to come down and check on my animals. I still want to make sure that they're healthy. There's not a chicken stuck, like I said. You know, there's been times when I've had injured chickens that have been attacked by hawks. Hawks really are the bigger issue. Had an attack a few weeks ago, but the net got the hawk tangled up, so the chicken was able to get away, but it did hit the chicken and ripped open its back. And it ran into the goat house, and my goat was in there. Mama Taco came out and whooped the shit out of the hawk. Since then, we haven't had any hawks come back, so I don't know, maybe Mama Taco scared them all off. Right now, the hardest chore that I'm doing on a daily basis is clearing trees. Previous owners had let everything overgrow, lost a lot of pasture. We're clearing a bunch of sections so we can grow grass back and get more pasture back for the animals. So that's kind of an ongoing project. I've got a big section that we're in the middle of clearing right now. So physically intensive, that would be the most physically intensive part of my day right now, aside from wrestling goats. Hold on, Juno. Back up. Here you go, Connie. There you go, girl. They like to push each other around quite a bit. They'll steal each other's food. So instead of doing a big trough with all of them, they each get their own bucket. And they know they got to eat quick because they'll start bouncing around here in a minute and trying to take food from each other. It's not even a daily thing that we do. But for their primary source is going to be grass and hay when they're out to pasture. So Connie finished first, so now she's off to the next. There's a pecking order, so Bella will look around to see who she can push around. Once Juno finishes, they'll all get out of her way. Fiona's at the bottom of the pecking order. She'll look for an empty bucket to go to. Well, what you doing? What you doing, buddy? You know, making sure that their water's always full, especially on, like I said, hot days like this. They'll go through it pretty quick. So I got 3 barrels. In this area, I clean up manure every couple days as well. It's right by the barn next to our Airbnb. This is where we have kind of guests come and get to visit with the cows. So we really keep this area nice and clean. Juno's about a month or 2 out from delivery, so I gotta get her checked on. She'll be having our first calf will be born here in the next few months. Sometimes I'll make it a little extra hard and move stuff by hand, heavy stuff by hand with the trees instead of using the tractor for everything if I know I'm not gonna get my workout in. But I typically try to squeeze in my workout on top of what I'm doing. But yes, shoveling shit definitely isn't the funnest part of my day, but I try, sometimes I do try and make fun of it by target practicing, seeing how good I can get with my pitchfork, and I've gotten pretty good. This is still close range, just getting warmed up. Challenge myself a little bit. So like, it's a long shot here. Oh, get it, nailed it. My workout usually is midday. I'll try to get a lot of the farm chores and everything done in the morning, get to my projects. Like I said, today, I'm gonna be going clearing some of those trees. But once I get done with some of my big chores, I grab lunch. Depending on what projects I have going on, I like to try and get like a mid-afternoon workout, and that kind of helps re-energize me for the rest of the day as well. You can see our awards up there from, that's what we got from Casey Kelly and Jesse James. So the main part, like the kitchen, the bath, and everything it was all plumbed in. I didn't have to do like any plumbing, electrical, or anything like that. I just kind of had to do a little remodel. So right now, we're towards kind of the end of the season a little bit. We went through a rough patch. We had like a big drought, like 110-degree weather for a month, and then got flooded with a ton of rain. So we had a lot going on. We lost a bunch of stuff. So a lot of this I got to cut off. This powdery mildew comes in and really takes over, and it spreads very quickly. But some of the big stuff we have to harvest, we got most of our melons. I don't think we're gonna get any more melons this year. I do a lot of sweet potatoes. We eat a lot of sweet potatoes. Once they start to turn a little bit yellow, that's when I'll harvest everything. That means they're done growing. Our squash got a little bit of the powdery mildew as well, so we lost some of our yellow squash and zucchini, but we still have trombone squash, which this one's not quite ready, but you can see in here. So these are new squash that we started growing this year. You can see the culture, they're like they're shaped like a trombone, and they're very hardy. They're one of my new favorite crops to grow because they withstand disease and bugs and everything a lot more in the weather. They survived where a lot of our zucchini and yellow squash didn't. We just picked a bunch of our green peppers, but these purple ones are just about ready. The bees love the basil, but the basil, our sage over here. So things like the rosemary, the sage, the basil, they're great for deterring bugs. And then our peach trees here that don't produce peaches for us. Unfortunately, that's the one thing I've probably had the most struggle with since having the farm is our fruit trees. I gave up on strawberries earlier, and look at, there's a strawberry growing right here. You never know. So like, this is a good one that I didn't get very many of these this year, but now I'm not trying, so I'm getting them. But now we're gonna cut back even more next year and figure out what are the things that we're good at growing, what are the things that we enjoy eating, what are the things that we can jar and preserve or that we're gonna last after the harvest. And what are some of the things that our community likes too? What are some of the things that we can give away to people that are coming to our classes and people that are coming out here to work out? Like the melons. We're not gonna eat enough melons to be able to go through our whole harvest. But that's a great thing that we can cut up and have available to people after they come out here for a class. We got a lot of the easy stuff out of the way. Time to do some of the hard stuff. Also fun stuff. Get a little bit of a workout in, clearing some trees. We got a lot to move around. We already took a lot of them down. We got a few more to cut down. We got to grind down some stumps. And this is going to give us a lot of this area of the pasture back. You leave all the big oaks, but all these little pines over the years, previous owners never cut them down. They just let all the saplings turn into 20-foot trees. And I've got you can see the rope fence kind of there. That's electric fencing that I have sectioning off each part of the pasture. So this is their low pasture it's actually their favorite pasture because it's where the pond is. They love going down to the pond. There's lush grass around there. I'm not sure if I would have picked it up on there. You almost missed me tipping the tractor again.
Oh.
This time I knew what to do when I felt it. So these are my 3D targets that I'm putting back out in the pasture for my archery range. Get these touched up, put them out in the pasture. So I got a 180-degree. It's probably 2 or 3 acre section that I'll put these out and shoot for my archery tower.